This was almost an ad for the Adventures of Chino and Homeboy. You were gonna skip it, but it's already over. Kind of like your attention span.
Orale! What's up, homies? Welcome to another episode of the Adventures of Chino and Homeboy. On today's episode, we are going to be reading chapter 4, and it is called Nature Sucks.
I really had to clear my throat.
Me.
Yeah, I think I'm in tune.
What is it? The Human Torch. Blah 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 blah.
The Human Torch. Can I say the whole quote?
Yeah.
Or can I not?
Let's just start reading.
Chino sat slumped on his couch, his face locked in the universal expression of a man who just had his heart stomped on, set on fire, and then peed on for good measure. The doorknob jiggled like it was trying to escape. A loud knock followed.
Yo, Chino, let me in. I forgot my key again.
Homeboy's voice came through the door. Chino let out a slow, defeated sigh, dragged himself up, and unlocked the door. Homeboy strolled in, his usual high-energy self, completely oblivious to the rain cloud hovering over Chino's head.
What's wrong, Chino?
Homeboy asked, taking in the scene. My abuelita broke up with me, Chino muttered, sinking back into the couch. Homeboy's face twisted in mild confusion.
Again? Dude, that sucks. That girl must really love you to be breaking your heart all the time, dude.
Chino blinked. How the fuck does that work?
'Cause you hurt the ones you love the most, bro.
Chino stared at him for a long moment, then nodded. You're right. Homeboy clapped his hands together.
Fuck it. Let's go get some chicks, yo.
Chino didn't even lift his head. I'm not in the mood. I just want to sit here and watch TV. Homeboy looked over at the television. It wasn't on. He frowned, turned back to Chino, then back to the blank screen.
But it's not on, bro.
Chino slowly turned his head and gave him a deadpan look that could have killed the lesser man. Chino slumped deeper into the couch, staring at the blank screen of the TV. I know, he muttered. I said I wanted to watch the TV, not watch TV. Homeboy nodded like he understood some profound truth. Then, as if struck by divine intervention, his face lit up.
Dude, we should smoke out.
Chino gave a lazy nod of approval. That was the first good idea he'd heard all day. Homeboy hopped up and strolled to the kitchen, pulling out their ornate stash box like it was a sacred relic. He plopped back onto the couch, popped the lid open, and pulled out a single note. His excitement vanished.
Dude,
he said, turning the note over like maybe, just maybe, there was a hidden compartment filled with weed inside.
It's empty.
Chino bolted upright. What?
Yeah, man. We left ourselves a note.
He handed it over. Chino unfolded the paper and read aloud. We owe you one stash of weed, signed Chino and Homeboy. Chale! He crumbled the note and chucked it at the wall. What do we do now? Homeboy scratched his chin, deep in thought.
We could prostitute ourselves again.
Chino snorted. That takes too long.
We could look through the couch cushions.
Chino weighed the idea for a second, then shrugged. Fuck it. Both of them sprang into action, tearing into the couch like archaeologists excavating the ruins of poor financial decisions. That's a good one. They flipped cushions, dug through crevices, and unearthed artifacts long thought lost to the void. Minutes later, they stood over the coffee table, surveying their final haul. Surveying their haul. Lint, an expired condom. What? That's gross. A broken lighter.
Not a used condom, an expired
You know
condom.
what? You're right. I just realized what as soon as I said it. Yeah.
Correction.
Yeah. Correction. An expired condom, a broken lighter, 3 bottle caps, and a single dusty peanut.
Now that's gross.
That's gross. Yeah. Chino sighed. Man, we are so fucked. Chino slumped further into the couch, staring at the darkness, lifeless screen of the TV like it owed him money. Homeboy, standing nearby, scratched his head in confusion.
Nothing.
Homeboy sighed and dug into his pocket, fishing out a crumpled $20 bill.
Sorry, man. All I've got is this 20 my Theo gave me for food.
Chino nodded, acknowledging the struggle, then let out a long sigh of resignation. Yeah, man. Then, as if a light bulb flickered on above his head, Homeboy's entire face lit up.
Dude! Chino! We can buy weed with the 20 instead of food.
Chino's eyes widened with inspiration. You're a genius! Let's get dressed. Homeboy glanced down at himself.
I'm already dressed.
Okay, I'll get dressed, and we'll go. Chino stood up and disappeared into the bedroom. Homeboy flopped onto the couch, humming to himself, content with the brilliance of their plan. I got caught in love like a motherfucker. Yeah, damn. In retrospect, I should have drank some water before reading. But anyway, continuing. Testicles, 1, 2. The sun hung overhead, beating down mercilessly on the cracked pavement as Chino and Homeboy wandered aimlessly down the street. The sidewalks shimmered in the heat, littered with the discarded flyers and remnants of past good times. Homeboy wiped sweat from his brow.
Hey, man. Where'd the dealer say his new dispensary was?
Chino stopped, looking around as if the answer was somewhere in the distant skyline. Shit, man, I forgot. Homeboy groaned.
So why are we heading to his house?
Chino shrugged and resumed walking. Because maybe the wifey knows where it's at. Homeboy considered this for a moment, then nodded in approval.
That's a good idea.
I can't believe you fucking wrote this in here. Chino smirked. Those are the only kind I have. He winked at Homeboy before striding ahead. Oh.
This fool used to say that shit all the time.
They make me sound like that fucking dude from Grandma's Boy. Why do you think I stopped saying it?
Those are the only ones I have.
Oh, shit.
I love it.
I'm getting exposed. All right. The midday sun beat down as Chino and Homeboy approached the dealer's house. The neighborhood was quiet, save for the crunch of gravel under their feet. Homeboy rapped his knuckles against the door, stepping back slightly as they waited. The door swung open, revealing Mrs. Dealer. She was draped in a satin robe, tied just barely at the waist, its silky fabric threatening to betray her at any moment. The golden sunlight caught the sheen of it, accentuating the curve of her figure.
Hi, boys.
She greeted. Her voice, honeyed and warm.
That was not honeyed and warm.
I couldn't do that.
That was not honeyed and warm.
I can't falsetto like that.
Hi,
Anyway.
boys.
Chino and Homeboy's jaws dropped in unison, their brains momentarily short-circuiting. A beat passed, then another. Mrs. Dealer tilted her head, amused.
What can I do for you? That was a little too manly.
No,
Sorry.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure which
was worse?
Yes.
I know.
All right. Chino blinked hard, snapping himself out of it. Huh? Oh, yeah. We came for some weed. Mrs. Dealer pouted playfully.
Oh, honey. We don't sell that here anymore. You have to go to our new dispensary on the other side of town.
Homeboy exhaled.
Yeah, we figured, but we got lost.
Chino shot him a look. I told you it was on the other side of town. With a roll of his eyes, he smacked Homeboy's arm. Mrs. Dealer chuckled.
You guys are funny. Have fun,
She said, closing the door with a lingering smile. As the door latched shut, Homeboy let out a dreamy sigh.
Marry me?
Chino sighed, shaking his head. She's already married, pendejo. His voice dipped, a rare moment of wistfulness creeping in. I wanted to marry my abuelita. Homeboy clicked his tongue in irritation.
Why you always gotta crush my dreams like that, puto? Shit. Fuck it. Let's just go get this chiba.
With that, they turned down the street, their mission back on track. Fucking up your highlight.
I know, right? That's right.
The sun hung high.
Finally, you get one on me.
Right? Finally. The sun hung high as Chino and Homeboy strolled down the cracked pavement. A few stray cars hummed past, the air thick with the scent of warm asphalt and distant barbecue. Hey, listen, I know a shortcut, Chino said, tilting his head toward an ominous stretch of trees just ahead. Homeboy eyed the dense foliage with suspicion.
I don't know, Chino. What if we get lost?
Chino waved a dismissive hand. We won't get lost. Just remember your training and we'll be good. Homeboy nodded along, trying to summon some misplaced confidence.
Right. What training?
Chino didn't break stride as he stepped into the forest. No says way. Let's go. Follow me. Homeboy hesitated for a beat, then shrugged.
Fuck it.
With a final glance at the civilized world, he plunged into the greenery after Chino. The forest was thick, the canopy overhead blotting out much of the sun. Shadows twisted between the trees, making the path ahead seem uncertain. Twigs snapped underfoot as they walked, the sound of distant birds and rustling leaves surrounding them. A sudden smack echoed as Homeboy slapped the back of his neck.
Fucking mosquitoes.
Chino grimaced, swatting at his arms before smacking his own neck. Shit! Chino smacked his arm, then his neck. Fuck, I hate mosquitoes. Homeboy swatted at his own neck, grimacing.
Yeah, man. What if we get dengue or Malawi or Zika?
Chino gave him a look. I'm pretty sure Malawi is a country, and I'm pretty sure we could die. Except Zika. I think Zika turns you into a zombie. Homeboy froze mid-slap.
For reals?
Chino shrugged. Pues, Z's in the name. Zika, zombie, no doubt. Homeboy's eyes widened.
Fuck this shit. Nature sucks.
They kept walking, slapping away unseen enemies, muttering curses under their breath. A short while later, Chino spotted a small clearing ahead, bathed in the patch of golden light filtering through the trees. Let's go rest over there. Without argument, they stepped into the clearing and dropped down next to a gnarled tree, catching their breath. Homeboy leaned back against the bark.
I'm surprised we haven't seen any wolves or bears and shit.
Chino chuckled. Man, wolves are extinct, and bears don't exist here. Homeboy sat up, blinking.
Wait, when did wolves become extinct?
Chino waved a lazy hand. Like last year, like sometime last year, some shit. Homeboy sighed.
Dude, that sucks.
Chino nodded, his tone heavy. Yeah, man. People suck. Before the weight of their shared cynicism could settle, Homeboy suddenly snapped to attention, his gaze locking onto something at the opposite edge of the clearing.
What is that?
He murmured, his voice laced with intrigue. Chino squinted, trying to make out whatever had caught Homeboy's attention. I can't see it. What is it, Homeboy? Without answering, Homeboy stood up and strode towards the edge of the clearing, eyes locked on the mysterious object. Chino followed close behind, curiosity outweighing caution. Homeboy bent down and plucked a single leaf from the ground. He held it up, inspecting its serrated edges and vibrant green hue. Chino took a sharp breath. Is that? Instead of answering, Homeboy gave the leaf a deep sniff. Then, without hesitation, licked it. Chino watched in horrified fascination as Homeboy took it a step further, biting off a piece and chewing with slow, deliberate movements. A slow grin spread across Homeboy's face.
It sure is. This is that watermelon Skittles Berkeley hybrid, and it's fresh.
His eyes darted around the clearing with growing excitement.
There's gotta be a plant or two around here.
Determined, he pushed through the thick brush, disappearing into the darker part of the ominous forest. Chino hesitated only a moment before following. As they emerged into the next clearing, the sun broke through the canopy, casting a golden glow over an expanse of towering, mature marijuana plants swaying gently in the breeze. Chino and Homeboy's jaws dropped in unison. The sight was nothing short of majestic. Chino's lips quivered, his eyes welling up with tears. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Homeboy stepped forward, his eyes reverent as he reached out to one of the plants. With practiced ease, he plucked a dense bud and lifted it to his nose, inhaling deeply. His eyes widened, and a slow, excited grin spread across his face.
They're ready for harvest.
Chino fell to his knees as if overcome with spiritual enlightenment. He lifted his arms toward the heavens before bending down to kiss the ground, his gratitude boundless. Then, as if possessed by sheer joy, he sprang up, and he and Homeboy bolted into the field, running like children set loose in a playground made of dreams.
All right, we'll stop there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a second. I gotta readjust.
That's right. He's got to fix his bib.
Yeah. I'd be drooling, man. I'd be drooling.
Especially when we're talking about the sweet, sweet Chiba.
Yeah. But let me get a sip really quickly.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I have cotton mouth like a mofo.
Absolutely. I don't think anyone will begrudge you. Shit, if they do, they got to sit through it anyway.
All right, so nature sucks.
That's right.
I remember distinctly the first time I heard you say nature sucks, and I believe it was when we were doing the Obama commercial with Mr. Dunn. Because we were
Obama commercial.
You don't remember? He asked me to score it even, but he ended up like choosing another song eventually.
Oh, that's right.
It was over there at some park on the east side of San Diego.
Yeah. I remember.
And
I remember Mr. Dunn.
Yeah.
And I do remember we worked on a lot of film projects for him.
Well, you maybe. I had just that one. It was the other guy, the cop that I had I was involved in. I played a meth head.
You know, he's got one of his movies out on Amazon Prime right now.
What's it called?
Fuck, I forgot.
How do you get away with that? No. Oh, that's not the name.
No.
Fuck, I forgot.
No, that's not the name of the movie.
Anyway,
but yeah.
Nature sucks.
Yeah, nature sucks. And I swear to God, I came up with it because I fucking hate mosquitoes. That is no fucking lie. Now, the original version of this had Chino and Homeboy tagging along with some people who already had weed, but because they found them annoying, ditched them in the ominous forest.
Gotcha.
And then that's how they ended up finding the field of weed, right? And they had
watermelon Skittles.
Yeah, and they ended up having to take on Mexican cartels because that's a huge thing in California, where Mexican cartels were growing wild-ass weed in national forests. So I was inspired by that, plus my hate of mosquitoes. Zika was a thing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and and I thought, Malawi sounds like something that you could catch off a mosquito, so why don't I just throw that in there, as racist as that fucking sounds?
So did Homeboy mean malaria?
I believe that I meant malaria, but I know that Malawi was a lot more racist.
Yeah. Do you
always
remember?
Got to skirt the line.
So was the malaria thing inspired by just the mosquitoes, or because I remember we had to take malaria pills?
I don't remember taking malaria pills.
Yeah, we had to take malaria pills.
For when?
Final deployment. Last deployment.
I didn't take any malaria pills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we definitely got it. We had to take malaria pills. We had to take it for 30 days. Wait, was it 30 days?
No.
We had to take malaria pills for a period of time before we docked into this one port.
Was it India?
Yes.
I thought we got a smallpox vaccine for that.
Nope, that was
because I remember we got a smallpox
different thing.
Because I know we got a smallpox vaccine for that shit too.
Yeah, we got from the same
and they
point.
offered us fucking anthrax. The smallpox vaccine we did not have a choice in getting.
Yeah.
We had to get that one. Everybody on the ship had to get a smallpox vaccine. and you couldn't pick at that shit.
Did you get a scar?
I have a little one. Do you have a scar?
Just a small one.
Yeah.
I remember everybody, like, you could tell who was on the Desron or the strike group because everyone was walking around with a fucking Band-Aid on their arm.
That's right. We all had tampons on our shoulders.
It was like, y'all sick? Like, what's going on?
No, y'all are sick.
Like, what the fuck?
All of you are sick.
Is this some cults I don't know about? Like,
yeah, it's a smallpox cult.
Shit. But yeah, malaria pills. I had to take malaria pills.
Yeah, I don't remember the malaria pills, but I do remember the smallpox vaccine. That I do remember.
Smallpox was before. It was right after we left Hawaii, I believe, because it was before we hit Australia. So we hit Australia before we hit India.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that was a very interesting time of my life.
Let's not dwell on that.
Yeah, we said we're not going to talk about that.
That's right. It's that thing that we said we would never talk about.
Right.
Which is a running joke in the book, by the way.
Yeah.
But from that original story, this story evolved.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm not sure if I read that original draft or not.
I didn't write it up as a draft.
Okay, so
as I started writing it, instead of turning into that, it evolved into this.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. So how it typically goes is he'll write the screenplay. He'll write the script. He'll send it to me to read, and I critique if I feel like there's a beat missing or if there's like a dialogue piece that could be said better, or it could be like a different word could be substituted.
Right.
And I'll suggest that, and he'll usually do what it is that I suggest.
It's usually one of his lines.
Well, typically yes, because I mean, who knows what Chino would say better than Chino? What? You?
I'm pretty good.
I mean, I'm not saying
I'm pretty solid.
I'm not saying you're
you're
bad.
But
I'm just saying
it did get to the point where if there was a moment or a situation where, because as the series progressed and the Military Chronicles, you had a more active hand in the Military Chronicles.
Yeah.
And then in the new series that we're writing, there are certain situations where now it's like, okay, the characters have evolved
right
to a certain degree, and I'm not certain that I can use the stuff that I knew about you then now. So I do have to hit you up with like, hey, here's a scene that your character is in, and I need some lines from you.
It's a consultation, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. But the characters evolve, And yes,
Indeed.
we are indeed writing a whole new series. We're already on the 3rd book, about to go into the 4th one. So, yeah, but we're not going to unleash that until you guys start buying this shit. That's right.
Yeah, this is the Adventures of Chino and Homeboy is it was the first of your oeuvre. It was the first of your masterwork, right? And then the Military Chronicles happened.
Our masterwork.
Well, yes, it's our masterwork, but because it came from your brain mostly,
right?
Like the whole concept.
Right.
Even though I did have a hand in the creation of it.
Yes.
I'm still going to give you credit because that's the appropriate thing to do.
Fair enough. But we do split 50-50. So if you buy this, it's a 50-50 split.
I'm just riding his coattails. But in any case, what was I saying?
Hold on tight.
forgot what I was talking about.
Well, we'll stop right there. And we'll read the next chapter in the next episode of The Adventures of Chino and Homeboy.
How convenient. We
I
should
know.
just do that. We should just end the episode every time I forget something. Doesn't matter where we are.
It's going to be a running joke. Watch. All right. Until next time, homies. Peace.
And konnichiwa, bitches.
Hey, fellow pirates, come and listen what I say. The captain is a tyrant and I no longer obey. I'm sick of taking orders from the madman in command. So let's drop him on an island and leave him in the sand. Cause it's a mutiny. It's a mutiny. It's a mutiny. And now we're taking over the ship. It's a mutiny. It's a mutiny. It's a mutiny. And now we're taking over the ship.